Hi there, welcome back to another episode of Cole's Notes. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between lager and ale yeast and dispel a few myths along the way. I'm sure many of you have heard the age-old comparison that lager is bottom fermenting and ale is top fermenting. This is simply not true. During fermentation, changes in temperature in carbon dioxide create a sort of convection current, dispersing actively fermenting yeast throughout the tank. While lager yeast may not ferment as aggressively as ales do, they can still be found fermenting throughout the tank. When fermentation is done for both ale and lager yeasts, they collect at the bottom in a process known as flocculation. Another detail that you may have heard is that ales ferment warm, while lagers ferment cold. This is generally true, with ales fermenting best between 18 and 22 degrees Celsius, and lagers fermenting best between 10 and 16 degrees Celsius. However, there are some exceptions. Coolsch yeast is an ale yeast that ferments comfortably at 15 degrees Celsius. If fermentation temperature isn't a good indicator, what about cold conditioning? After fermentations, lagers have a period known as cold conditioning where they're stored cold. This is to clarify the beer, resolve any off flavors, and form a small amount of carbonation. While this process is typically not done for ales, there are a few exceptions, such as our old Dusseldorf Alt beer, which is cold conditioned for a number of weeks, much like a lager. So what really is the difference between ale and lager yeasts? To put it simply, ale and lager are two different species, Saccharomyces cerevisiae and Saccharomyces pastorianus. There are many variations and exceptions within each of these species, and that's part of what makes beer so cool and unique. Who knew that science could taste so good?